All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me on an After Dark discussion. It is 12:05 a.m., so this is technically the wee hours of the morning. This is one of my favorite times to get alone and think or talk, when everything's quiet and crickets are chirping, traffic has died down, and it's just you and me. It is July 22nd. Out here on my back porch, it is 83 degrees. And I take that back. It's 81 degrees and 83% humidity. So it's a little muggy out here, but I'm fine. I'm not sweating up a storm. I got my workout in earlier in the evening. I don't normally work out in the evenings, but my schedule got mixed up this week. I usually hit it hard in the morning before I go to work, and I've been doing it every night when I get home instead. And that's a real switch up for me. Your body gets used to a certain way of doing things at certain times, and when you change your routine at all, you get these challenges that you weren't expecting. So anyway, it's a matter of a level of energy and also the temperature. It's much hotter in the late afternoon, and I work out in my garage with the door halfway down, so it's very, very, very muggy. I shed at least 2 pounds every workout. Yeah, I sweat that much doing that. That's just, I'm absolutely drenched. You can wring out my clothes and you're done. Anyway, moving on to a few things I want to talk about. I actually have basically one thing. I'll hit a couple things, but there is going to be a running theme. I'm going to put it in your head now. I want you to write this down. It's not very long. It's one simple little line, but write this down because it will have everything to do with the rest of the content of this video. And you're going to want to maybe use it as a life quote for yourself. Okay, so here's the quote, and then I'll move on to other things and come back to it. Okay, this is by Ray Bradbury. Ray Bradbury wrote Fahrenheit 451, among other things. But here's what he said: life is trying things to see if they work. Life is trying things to see if they work. Now, just kind of latch on to that for a couple minutes and think about that. Mill that over in your mind, because it's gonna hopefully I'll remember to come back to that and kind of tie everything up in the end. If you've been watching my channel at all, you'll know I have several different things I do. I'll make walk tour videos, sometimes a motorcycle video, and or two. I made one a couple weeks ago. I wasn't absolutely pleased with it, so I haven't uploaded it yet. I don't know what I'll do, if I'll just remake it. I'll talk about beard stuff and all sorts of things, like these life lesson videos, after dark talks. So I uploaded one. It's not like I'm stuttering, don't I? I uploaded one last week or earlier this week on SharkCon. And I wasn't really too pleased with that video, although it seems like the people who commented on it did like it. But it was kind of an experimental video for me. I was using the Insta360 X3, which this video is being shot on. I was using that in a building, typically a low light situation. Plenty of light, for everyday living, but for an action camera, it was low light. And I just wanted to walk around and see how well it would do. And I really wasn't pleased with how it turned out, but I uploaded it anyway because it was good enough. It was just good enough. I was just trying something to see if it worked. And it worked. It worked. It wouldn't please everybody, but it is what it is. I'm glad you guys liked it. And then I had purchased a microphone specifically made for iPhones. Okay, and I've been wanting one for a while because if I just stick up my iPhone, it has a good microphone, but if I have it any distance away from me, like more than arm's length away from me, I have to actually raise my voice and project it to get it to sound normal. So when you listen to any of my videos or watch any of my videos where it's being shot on an iPhone and the volume sounds fine, you'd be surprised at how much I actually have to raise my voice and project it to get it to sound good. Well, I was really enthusiastic about getting this microphone, and it took a while to get to me. I've been seeing it advertised all over the place. Well, I got it and I used it on the video that I had uploaded before this one, and I love the video that I made. I was very happy with it. I love the way it turned out, except for the audio. I did not like that microphone. No one has said anything about it, but I'm glad. I'm glad maybe people just didn't notice, but I did not like that microphone, and I'll probably never use it again. But, it was just an experiment. But I'm always willing to try things out to see if they work. That's according to Ray Bradbury, that's what life is all about, right? So don't be afraid to try new things out. It's very important to get your mind wrapped around that, because there are people that are so afraid of failure that they'll never try anything new. They don't want to look bad. They don't want to look like they didn't make a good decision or they didn't do their homework or whatever. And I think really you just got to throw as much up against the wall to see how it sticks or what sticks, and not expect perfection. So anyway, I got a text from my daughter. How old is she now? Well, married 20. Oh man, 24 years. Yeah, I have a 24-year-old daughter. She texted me the other day, and my daughter's a really good gift giver. When she gets me a gift for a birthday or for Christmas or whatever, I can tell she really put thought into it. And I just absolutely love it because she knows me. Well, for Christmas, this last Christmas, she bought me a Lego motorcycle. I haven't put it together because I have it sitting there. I've had every intention of doing so, but I just never really got around to it. And here we are in July already. And so out of the blue, my daughter texted me the other day. I'm looking it up right now. My daughter texted me the other day, and here's what she said. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Okay. She said, "Hey, YouTube celebrity. Did you ever build that motorcycle Lego I gave you?" Oh, man. You don't want to have to answer in the negative. But I said, "No, not yet, but I keep on meaning to. Thanks for reminding me. I'll set it out. I'll set it aside." And she said, "Yes, I want to see what it looks like. That could be a cool video too if you just sped the whole thing up." And I said, "That's a good idea. I wouldn't have thought of that. I may try it." So you may see me doing a Lego video. I feel like when I'm saying that in the moment that I don't really mean it, because I don't know, man. I'm terrible at putting models together, putting things together like that. I'm not very good at it. And these things come with instructions, but I'm not very good at that. I'm good at following instructions. I'm an instructions guy. You know how guys always get made fun of, and for not asking for directions and for not asking or not reading instructions. I'm not that guy. I do. Well, I don't have to ask for directions anymore. We have GPS. But in the day, if I needed to, I would ask for directions. I had no shame about that. I figure do it right the first time if you can. And that's why I will also read instructions. But that does not mean I don't make a lot of mistakes anyway. I have put together a lot of things in my lifetime. Having a family, going to IKEA, or getting stuff from Walmart, or wherever, you know how it is. and I'll follow the instructions to the letter, and it's always something that doesn't go right. So I usually grumble and complain and gripe and show the less savory aspects of my personality when I do stuff like that. But, you know, that's why I try to avoid doing stuff like that. Well, anyway, so I should really set out to make this Lego motorcycle. Just do a sped up video like she said. But it got me to thinking about Legos. See, when I was growing up, I never collected Legos. I don't ever remember purchasing Legos. Somebody in my family probably did. I have 3 other brothers and a sister, and so somebody probably did. But I didn't collect them. I fooled around with them. I played with them, and had a little bit of fun. But they just weren't my thing. We had Tinker Toys, Lincoln Logs, puzzles always around the house. You know, stuff that it took eye-hand coordination, problem solving, deduction, mindset. I had stuff like that, but I had barreled monkeys. I don't know why I threw that in there. You don't do anything with the barreled monkeys, but I had them. Maybe I felt proud of them when I had them. Maybe it's just coming out now. But anyway, so I wasn't a big Lego collector. I don't mind them, but I just didn't have them for myself. But it got me to thinking about Legos. And I was thinking about the Lego structures, if that's what you want to call them, the creations that they have over in Disney Springs over in Orlando. And they have this massive Lego dinosaur or dragon. It was a dragon in the water in their little lake right there. And it's really cool. And then they have a Lego store, and they have these Disney life-size, I say life, they might be a little bit smaller than life-size, a little bit, not much, life-size Disney characters in Lego. And everybody wants a photo opportunity with them. Some of them are Star Wars characters. Some of them are just like your standard bells and princesses and stuff like that. And it's pretty cool. It's impressive, and you just can't help but stand there and look at them in awe and think about how much time it took to build those. Now, they probably have a team of people that get together and make all this happen. They've probably been doing this all their life, and they have a routine down. They have formulas sketched out. They know all the little tricks. They know what they're doing, obviously. But they are impressive. It always looks extremely daunting, something I would never have the time for. But building Lego structures like this is not unlike really anything else in life that you endeavor to take on and want to become really good at. It takes similar skills, but I think when you can combine play and skill building together, I think the results are drastically different. When you're not really setting out to just be good, you're doing it because you enjoy it and you get good in the process, it makes a huge difference. So I looked up a few things about Legos, and I ran across something. I ran across this Lego terminology, Lego speak, if you will. Where's my glasses? So listen to these Lego terms. Have you heard of them before? Are you somebody who likes Legos? Do you build Lego sets? Do you have them in your home? Do your kids like them? Let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are on Legos, because I'm sure there is somebody listening to this, watching this, and probably going, ooh, ooh, ooh. Well, leave a comment down below, and let me know what you think. So, anyway, I'm going to give you a few things about this. I thought this was interesting. Okay. So Lego builders, they have their own language. Some of these you probably heard before. Okay, studs or dots are the circular knobs on top of Lego pieces that enable them to interlock with other Lego pieces. So you're familiar with this. You know, when you think of Lego, you think of what they call bricks, right? You know, with the little dots on top. They're called studs. Or I guess they're called dots, but I mean, studs was the first word that came up here. There's another word called Rory. The standard Lego brick, 2 studs wide by 4 studs long, possibly short for a 2x40. A double Rory is 2 studs wide and 8 studs long. A Rory, okay. Okay. A snot. Yeah, all sorts of images come to mind, right? That's something you don't want on your Lego bricks. But anyway, there is a word that they use, snot, a Lego creation in which the studs are not on top. Snot. Studs are not on top. They're either on the sides or on the bottom. Okay. Schleim. Well, Schleim is the German word for snot. Snarl. Well, of course, these are acronyms. You're catching on now, right? I didn't say that before, but you know now. Snarl means studs not at right angles. Sneer, S-N-I-R, means studs not in a row. I know, you're feeling really good about yourself right now. You're probably committing all this to memory, so the next time you get around all your Lego friends, you go to the Lego convention, the Lego con, you're going to be armed. You're going to be able to blend in. And you think to yourself right now, you're going to sound smarter than everybody else, don't you? Don't you? All right. A ship. A ship is significantly huge investment of parts. A giant Lego creation, which is what I was talking about at Disney Springs, generally 100 studs in length or longer. That's a ship. Okay. Grußtelling. Grußtelling, a German word that imitates the sound a hand makes as it sifts through a pile of Legos. Wow. Grußtelling. A Kfol. A Kfol, K-F-O-L, Kfol is kid fan of Lego. An AFOL is an adult fan of Lego. An A-hole, A-hole is an adult hobbyist of Lego. Because of this term's similarity to a dirty word, the term AFOL is the preferred. I don't know, I kind of like that. I kind of like that, A-hole. I'm sure they have a few of them within the Lego community. All right, Dark Ages. Dark Ages is the Lego-free years when a K-fol, or an A-hole, outgrows Legos before returning to them as an A-fol. The Dark Ages. I mean, you don't come up with something like that, describe that, unless you are really, really into it. All right, an NLS or an NLSO is a non-Lego spouse or significant other. Hey, at least they give them a moniker. An NLS or NLSO, I mean, sounds somewhat respectable, while at the same time not. All right, a parts monkey. A parts monkey is the assistant who sorts through piles of Lego pieces looking for parts that the builder needs for whatever it is that they're building. Makes sense. A patsy is a piece that is used as a placeholder on a creation until the parts monkey finds the desired piece. A Q element is a Lego piece that was manufactured in a color that never went into commercial production. Such pieces are rare and very collectible. I'll make mention of that a little bit more in a few minutes. Rocking horse poo is a Lego that's extremely rare and hard to come by. How rare? As rare as rocking horse poo. A sig fig is a signature figure, the miniature Lego person that a hobbyist uses as a representation of themselves online. I guess like an avatar, right? I need one. I read that this is the reason that they got rid of the yellow Legos. They went with the more flesh-colored Legos so that people could see themselves in their own creation if they wanted to make an image of themselves. Okay. But I don't know. I don't know how current that information is. If you are a Lego builder, you can let me know. A customizer is a Lego builder who drills, glues, paints, melts, or otherwise modifies Lego parts when making their creations, something that horrifies Lego purists. So I read that there's actually illegal builds or illegal build techniques or something like that, something to that effect, where people will bend and misshape and contort the pieces. And I don't know if these terms, I don't know if it's only looked down on if they're being judged or if they're being showcased, or I guess they'd all be showcased. Why else would you build something so big and go out of your way to contort a piece to make it fit to achieve an end result unless you were showing it off? I don't know. But it's very frowned upon, as I said here. All right, trainers. Trainers are fans who specialize in collecting Lego train sets. Trainers, huh. Hands in pockets describes the earliest minifigs or miniature figures. They had arm-like ridges on the sides of their torsos instead of movable arms. Kebab. Kid with a bucket of bricks. A mock, M-O-C, a mock, means my own creation. When a Lego builder creates something out of their own imagination instead of assembling one from instructions. A mock fodder, a Lego set purchased because it contains pieces that the buyer needs in order to make a mock. Rainbow warrior, or Bullocks. Bullocks is, in this case here, is spelled B-O-L-O-C-S. It means built of lots of colors. The kind of creation every kid makes when they don't have enough Legos of the desired colors and have to use whatever colors they do have. So that individual is called a rainbow warrior or a Bullocks. ABS, which is acrylonitrile butadiene. Styrene? I don't know. I'll put it on the screen. I have no idea how you say this, but it's the plastic that Legos are made from. ABS. Swooshable, a Lego aircraft, spaceship, or other creation that just cries out to be picked up and carried around the room while making flying sounds. A burp is a big, ugly rock piece, a disparaging term for a large gray rock-shaped piece that's found in Lego castle sets. Purists prefer to build their own rocks out of smaller pieces. Yeah, they don't slack, do they? A lerp, L-U-R-P, is a little ugly rock piece, smaller than a burp. Poop is parts out of other parts. Any large piece, like a burp, should have been made from smaller parts. A draft is a special meeting of a lug, a Lego users group, to which each member brings a building set to a meeting. The sets are opened up, and members take turns picking pieces they want from the sets. Only two more here. A cracklink is a nickname for the addictive website Bricklink, which I think I think Bricklink is one of the websites I'm going to refer to here in a few minutes. But Cracklink, okay, a nickname for the addictive website Bricklink, where just about any Lego piece, no matter how rare, can be purchased individually. Stamps, this is the last one, stickers across multiple pieces, which are part of a lot of Lego building sets. After the item is built, the builder has the difficult task of choosing between never using the parts individually again or cutting the stickers into pieces. Oh, they have your cross to bear, don't they? So anyway, that's some Lego terminology for you. And it got me thinking about how complex this process is. I mean, if you have the time and the interest and the investment in Legos like some of these people do, they're oftentimes not just called Lego builders, but master Lego builders, then what was I going to say? I think it's escaping me now. Oh, I don't remember what it was. Oh, I know what it was. So if you're that involved, if it means that much to you, surely there's got to be life lessons that you can learn from that. It's the same thing with learning how to play a musical instrument, picking or becoming involved in a sport to the point of professional aspirations. Having a hobby like photography or videography or anything like that, anything, going to an art class, you're going to pick up skills, you're going to learn processes that are translatable to life, right? So I started thinking, what could we learn from Lego builders or from a master Lego builder? Well, I found out. I found out. So here's an article written by a man named Cameron Naish or Naish. There are so many. Listen, I don't know why I am not so confident of my pronunciation skills, but I just don't want to get people's names wrong. I really don't. I always feel like I need to apologize for it ahead of time. But anyway, so this guy, he has his own website, CameronNaish.medium.com. Cameron, if you happen to listen to this, I apologize if I butchered your name, but I'll put this link in the description below. So he has here 10 life lessons I learned from Lego. Now, before I share with you what those are, I want to make very clear that I tried to come up with a list myself. I read a lot of stuff about Legos, and I gleaned as much as I could from all of it to come up with things that you could learn from building Legos, and it just did not feel very authentic. It made me feel fraudulent because I don't do this myself. If you asked me to do this about life lessons you could learn from working out or from playing the piano or whatever, I could tell you. Well, I could tell you, and I wouldn't feel bad about it at all. But when it comes to Legos, I just did not feel qualified. So I searched the web, I came up with this article, and I realized this guy has way better points to make than I do. And I went back and looked at my own notes, and I am so glad that I made up my mind not to share them with you after reading this guy's. His is just too good. So here's the 10 life lessons he learned from Lego. Number 1, you have to break down the good to build up the great. People often strive for good. Good is comfortable, good is obtainable, and good is better than bad. The only problem is those who want more than good often have to start making sacrifices. Sure, this lesson is best learned by people who are trying to thrive in their careers or get into the best physical shape of their lives. This lesson is also clear at an early age with Lego builders. Sometimes you have to take a Lego set you really like and take it apart in order to build something even better. So he's really making a good point here. Just because you obtain a certain amount of skill, you become good at it, and then you realize you could do better. It's okay to break something down that is good. You don't want to preserve good at the expense of not becoming better. So think about how that applies to your life. So you've done good. It makes you feel great, makes you feel comfortable. But could you do better? Are you going to have to sacrifice something to do that? Try to be a little less afraid of doing that. And I think the point he might be wanting to make here is that it's probably good to pick up a hobby like Legos to figure out how to do that if you don't know where to start already. Build, tear down, build back. I almost hate saying that. put it that way. But that in essence is in essence what he's saying here. So number 2 is every set has a valuable piece. Some Lego sets seem like more money or time than they're worth. However, regardless of the set, each set contains a piece or more that is unique to it specifically, or at least very uncommon. This idea is valuable to life experiences, I believe, because even the most mundane life moments can have a valuable piece to it that makes it worthwhile. Sometimes it takes a lot of shuffling through a lot of commonality to find it, but just about anything has something unique and memorable to it that is worthwhile. That is, I love that because he's right. People will often will let their eyes glaze over. They won't see what's going on around them or what they're involved with or what's available to them, what they have at their fingertip, the resources that have been given to them. They won't even see them because they're just going through, as he puts it, the same thing over and over again, these mundane tasks, the rigmarole. They're feeling the status quo and they don't realize what they have. So you can find something worthwhile even in the mundane. Okay, so number 3, haste makes holes. This lesson shouldn't be a surprise to anyone, as we have all learned through relationships, hobbies, careers, and personal achievements that haste is not worth the mistakes it causes. Some people learn it earlier than others, and almost every kid knows the feeling. In the excitement of building a new set, it is easy to miss a step or a piece and cause the entire design to fall down around itself. While each Lego set comes with a few spare pieces, it's frustrating to complete what appears to be a masterpiece, at least in a kid's eyes, just to find a gaping hole in a wall due to a piece that was missed on step 42. I've made a video before about slowing down, and while I didn't quite make this point in these words, and I said so much in other words, it's important to slow down. And you'll oftentimes find yourself getting somewhere faster by taking your time. It's kind of like when I listen to Conor McGregor train his fighters on Ultimate Fighter. He tells them, do the technique well first. Do it slow. Make sure your technique is proper. Speed should come last. Technique always trumps speed. And that is what he's saying here when he makes his 3rd point, haste makes holes. Number 4, creativity doesn't have an age limit. As I get older and have more money to buy Lego bricks, I'm realizing that I didn't lose my ability to come up with fun constructs out of my imagination. I know 7-year-olds who can build a Lego track and run laps around anything I can think of, but that doesn't mean I'm unable to shuffle through a box of squares to create a spaceship, a house, or a house/spaceship. I just have to not be offended by the age suggestion on the boxes. I've noticed that myself. It may not be appropriate for me to skip work to play out a Lego adventure on my living room floor, but I have no problem daydreaming about building the ultimate Lego city someday. Creativity doesn't have to have an age limit. Boy, that's so true. Guys, I really hope you glom onto this one. Okay? My mother, who is 78 now, still has a very creative mind. And that's one of the things I love about her. She can dream up something for to carry out practical purposes or just to entertain herself. It doesn't matter she's always been that way. It's always something I've really admired about my mother, and I think that's something I've gotten from her. And I hope that's something that you never lose. You see, I think every person, and I really, really mean this, I think every single person has a creative aspect to them. And you know why? Because we are created in God's image. And while we are not God, and we are not some type of a God, we do have some common attributes with him. I think he also made us to be creative in our own ways, in a way to take on his image. And so I think every single one of us have the ability to be creative, whether it's in the way you perform your everyday duties at home or at work, or the way you raise your children, or the way you talk to others. You can call it art, or you can just call it creativity. Sometimes they kind of converge together, but it doesn't always have to be one and the same. For me, playing the piano is a creative endeavor, but so is doing YouTube videos. You're always trying to think of new ways to do things, and just like I said before, trying things out to see what works. All right, so number 5, size doesn't matter. Keep your mind out of the gutter, guys. Okay, it's easy to get caught up in the big stuff, but sometimes it's the small details that matter most. As a kid, my favorite pieces were often the flat 1x1 bricks that were impossible to separate from each other. They add detail and depth that the big pieces simply cannot, and are just as important as the big flashy ones. The same goes for most projects and ideas. Tiny details are key to success. Let me go a little bit further than that. I was reading up on Legos, and they were saying that you'd be surprised at the amount of work you put into building something. You've got to put these pieces in just the right place, only to find out later on that you don't even see them because they're on the inside or underneath something. And they're pieces that you just don't see, but they're necessary. They're necessary. And it kind of goes along with this guy's point. Even the small things, perhaps the unseen things, the things behind the scenes, the ones who seem, the figures, the pieces that seem diminished compared to the other ones, they don't look like they would glean all the same glory, but yet they're all significant and just as important. So size does not matter. If you feel like you're the low man on the totem pole, or you're just a minnow in the big pond, you have a purpose, you have a function, you have something you can contribute. Okay, moving on. Number 6, life has more than one theme. It's easy to fall into stereotypes and expectations. For example, the man who's writing this says, I'm a 31-year-old adult male who still buys Lego sets. What a nerd. He's saying that about himself. That's not my comment. He said, I must also play World of Warcraft and memorize Lord of the Rings. While nothing is wrong with anyone who can select I do all of the above, here, it's important for people to know that they can extend beyond their stereotype, or in Lego terms, their theme. Like with any life hobby, activity, or adventure, mix and matching can bring on a limitless number of new, exciting possibilities. Don't hem yourself in. Don't get stuck in a rut or in a box. I was thinking about this today as I was working out. I like formulas. I like patterns. I like routines because I don't have to think about things as much. I don't have to make a decision every time I set out to do something or to achieve something. If I already know ahead of time what I'm going to do, and I don't veer from the path, it's something I don't have to think about. I can just act, right? But when I approach my workout, I work out Monday through Friday. On different days, I feel different ways, and so while I'm always focused on my technique and my performance above speed, um, I may do things just a little bit different every day. I don't have any hard and fast rules. It's the same thing with playing the piano. I don't want to become so stuck in a routine so that I don't have to think about things, that I can't become better or more creative or more fluid. You see? So you have more than one theme. You have, you have the ability to do so much more than you think if you're willing to be fluid. All right, number 7, it feels good to build. In a world running out of resources and space, it can be difficult to find a medium to create something that isn't done on a computer. Materials are expensive, and having places to keep non-essential life items are a luxury many can't afford. But a few Lego bricks and a shoebox can be all a person needs to get the satisfaction of building something out of nothing. Thanks to Lego bricks, I learned that after a long, stressful day, sometimes there is nothing better than sitting down and building something out of my own 2 hands. Well, it kind of goes back to that whole the whole creative part of our personality. It feels good to work with our hands, to express ourselves, and you really need to tap into that. You may not be interested in Legos, but you can take an art class, you can take a cooking class, you can take piano lessons, you can start a YouTube channel, and you don't have to be real serious about it or anything else that you do. You can just play at it. But the whole point he's making here is it feels good to do these things. Okay? And I think, like I said at the very beginning, if you can combine play and skill building, it's going to go a long way. Number 8, don't always follow the instructions. Well, following instructions, I was always adamant about, and a lot of times, has not done me a lot of good. He goes, I'm going to be honest here. I was one of those kids who never deviated from the instructions. Sure, I'd build a Lego set and destroy it 1,000 times, but I always build it back to how the set was designed. My philosophy was freestyle buckets were for creativity. Sets were for instructions. As I got older, I realized, much like theme mixing, that half the fun was going wild and not staying within the lines. Sure, you can get a great final product by doing what the instructions say, but sometimes it's okay to branch out. I have watched some videos and read some books where they talk about how it's actually important. I know I'm not quite saying the same thing, but it kind of runs along the same vein. Sometimes it's important to break the rules. I don't mean like disobey your parents. I'm not saying be flagrant at work and violate policy. And it's important, though, to see sometimes how far you can go, not with them all, but every once in a while, test things. Because a lot of rules and instructions are actually quite meaningless. I mean, have you ever got something home and started building it and realized that you're getting just a general blueprint for a set of instructions for this, and really it's not necessarily for this thing that you're building, right? I hope you know what I'm talking about, because I've done this numbers of times. I get halfway through and go, this is even the same thing. They're just similar builds to something else. And so if you're so fixed on following instructions, that's really going to like mess with your head. So it's okay to deviate from the instructions, get used to it, and just see what you can do. And You know, like I said about the rules, although maybe I shouldn't have, maybe I shouldn't have deviated that far. I should make that a whole entire different video. Okay. Number 9, only got 2 more here. Nothing is permanent. Teaching a kid about loss is a tough life lesson that is sometimes best learned through a hungry dog running straight through a Lego city that took all week to build. Can you imagine? Everything we create, care about, even try to protect will eventually break down. And I learned this lesson in kindergarten when I tripped over my Lego house I brought for show and tell and destroyed my glorious design with my face in front of all my peers. Did you ever have show and tell when you were a kid? I used to actually like show and tell. I was very shy, but I would show off for show and tell for some reason. So I can only imagine his chagrin over something like that happening. But yeah, what he's saying here is it's a good lesson. The whole building, destroying, rebuilding, accepting unexpected consequences to take place does teach you that nothing is permanent, and I think that's quite valuable. The last one here, number 10, Lego builds relationships. Find someone who hates Lego bricks. Chances are, unless that person stepped on one in the middle of the night recently, you won't. Like I said, I'm kind of indifferent to them, but I'm a lot older now. It's been many years since I picked them up, but I don't hate them. Lego bricks are fun for all ages and bring people together to play, design, build, and laugh together. Building sets is just distracting enough to take away nervous energy and get the creative juices flowing, which means whenever I have an issue with someone, instead of throwing around angry comments we will later regret, we bring out the whiskey and Lego bricks and hash out our problems while sharing in some creativity. And no one can hate solving a problem and having a pirate ship with laser cannons and plane wings as a trophy to show for it. You know, I don't have anything in life like that. I don't have the community where I get together with people. Well, I did for a little while. For a little while, we used to go to trivia. We used to do trivia nights once a week. It's something similar where you get a group of people together. You're not really friends otherwise necessarily. You might be, but not necessarily. And certainly you come from different political, spiritual beliefs. You all have different kinds of jobs. And if you're not careful, things could get incendiary. But you can always come back to this one thing that you have in common. And so community is a wonderful thing if you can build it. It's kind of goes back to the whole principle of having a tribe. While everybody in a tribe or your tribe may not agree on everything, they know they're connected. So connectivity, could solve some problems for you and teach you how to resolve conflicts, or at the very least, how to be diplomatic, courteous, gracious. All right. Well, guys, that's what I have for that. I know this video was kind of long, but I intended for it to be kind of long. I figure it's probably good that I make a video like this every once in a while, and some of you have even told me that you enjoy the long content. So I really want to make at least one of these kind every week and give you guys a chance to just kind of hang out with me here in the back porch. Now, if you have not liked this video yet, please do so if you've actually liked the video. If you haven't subscribed already, well, you probably need to do that. I'm not going to come to your house. I don't know where you live. I'm not going to browbeat you, email you, make you write bad checks. I'm not going to make you do any of that, but it'd be great if you would subscribe to my channel and share this content with other people who might be interested in it. Also, if you want to leave a thanks in a tangible way, hit the thanks button down below. If you want to support this channel, donate to it. I'll have a PayPal link down below, and I'll be happy to make mention of you or put your name up on the screen and give you a thanks, because I would be absolutely ecstatic about it. It's a good feeling. It really is a good feeling, and it's very encouraging. So, if you want to serve as a source of encouragement to me, or you just want to help out, you can do that. But you don't have to. You really don't. You don't have to. I won't feel one way or the other about it. But I've enjoyed my time with you guys tonight. I want to cap all this off by going back to the original quote that I gave you earlier, and that was, well, I got to get myself back on the page here. Ray Bradbury's quote: "Life is trying things to see if they work." I hope you never lose your curiosity and your willingness to experiment and just see what works. It's one of the way life opens doors for you. Okay? All right. And now it is almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I can't believe this video has gone on this long. So I thank you for your time. I'll catch you guys in the next one. In the meantime, well, you know if you watch these videos what I'm going to say, right? Okay. Be wise.